I'm Richard Porter.
I'm Jonny Smith.
And this is On the Other Side of Things, the Smith & Sniff spin-off in which we answer your questions. Hi there. Welcome to Otosot, our Friday spin-off show where we answer listeners' questions.
Yeah, that's right, we do. It's a spin-off show, which is why it's called Otosot, On the Other Side of Things.
I'm going to start with a very quick question from a listener who calls themselves Kay in Hull. They say, hello, you pair of well-greased flanges. As Richard has a deep knowledge and passion for all things British Leyland, as he should, does he have a plan to write a BL book?
Well,
I hope he does. I would buy it. I'm really looking forward to seeing Richard's Metro as well. It's extremely tantalising seeing it sat there showing a bit of leg in the Den workshop on Retro Powers videos. Yes, it is. A video of you two revealing the revitalised beauty is definitely something to look forward to. It will happen.
Revealing the revitalised beauty.
But to answer the question, no, it's the funny one because I feel like a lot of people have written really good books about British Leyland and all of the companies involved in it, and I don't know what I could add. Unless
it was a sitcom, you'd write a sitcom about factory workers in the British Leyland era.
I have had a thought for something similar. I also had a thought for a novel, which was sort of, if you could imagine the producers, the play, the producers, and the whole premise of that, but transposed to a British Leyland-alike car company in the 1970s. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll do that. I would rather do that, I think, and just make stuff up, but with a sort of nod to real history than to try and write a history of the BL, because I think so many people have done it so well. And of course, there's the website AR Online is an excellent trove of information.
That's the oracle.
Yeah. So I don't know what I could bring to it. I sort of enjoy reading about it rather than having to write it up. But so that'd be my position on that. Sorry.
Well, look, I've got a letter here from a chap called Richard Cohen, and he wrote to us on the 23rd of October 2023. And
of course
he did. Hi, Rich. Better late than never. Guys, this one involves a photo, but he said, I had this one in my workshop today. I can't help but smiling. It's a photograph of one of those little dealership stickers that goes on the back window of a lot of cars. And it says... the name of the dealer is Clist and Rattle Limited.
Clist?
C-L-I-S-T and Rattle Limited.
Clist?
Yeah, honestly.
Is that a joke?
No, they were an MG Rover, Skoda and Daihatsu dealer, according to all of the badges around on the sticker. It's a great looking sticker, Clist and Rattle.
Clist and Rattle. Where is this from?
Hang
what
on.
Part of the country?
It says it is... Oh, hang on. They actually had a dealership. clistandrattle.co.uk. Cars you can trust, it says underneath. Although Rattle is not a great name for a car dealership. I'm sure it's a surname, but it's just not ideal, is it?
I've just looked this up. Now, it rather looks tragically like Clist and Rattle are no longer in business, but they are, as far as I can work out, in Somerset.
Were they?
It says...
I need a Clist and Rattle dealer badge now.
This is notice to creditors, so it looks like they've been wound up. The registered office will be changed to Winchester House, Deangate Avenue, Taunton, Somerset.
Wow.
But,
okay.
It looks like their address was Western Road, Flax, Bourton.
Flax, so... Well, there we go. So one from near my homeland.
But you were not familiar with Clist and Rattle. You didn't buy a car from them.
No, but the question is do you have any amusing car dealer names? If so, share with us. So I started to think to myself, well, I mean, there's a few that we've talked about on WhatsApp that. But there's one, and I don't think this is in the UK. I found it. I think it's in America, and it's called Dick Eyed. Mazda.
What?
Dick, and then the surname is IDE. Dick Ide. Not I would Dick.
No.
It's Dick Ide. Or I think it's Ide. IDE? Do you say that, Dick Ide?
E-Day?
Oh, Dick E-Day.
Dickie doesn't even work.
Dickie Day?
Dickie Day.
So Dick, I'm just going to double check whether this is in the Rochester area of New York. Dick Ide.
Oh.
He also his first dealership was a Pontiac dealership, and the E-Day family of dealerships still exist. I think they're a Honda Volkswagen dealer too. So there we go, Dick E-Day or Ide. It's real. It's real.
Because this is in my I think of the French expression "bon idée."
Okay,
and then think of what a dicky day that is. As in, what a bad idea that is. I'm probably this is not some
dicky day.
Well, I don't. Because we've talked about this before, haven't we? How there was that T.C. Harrison Ford in Stamford.
Yes,
where you are.
Yeah,
and just the fact that they had the name of actor written within their title always confused me somewhat.
There used to be I don't know if there is still anymore, Titty Ho Motor Company.
Oh, yes.
Titty Ho Motor Co. Again, not sure whether or not they still exist. I'm trying to think who else we've got. I'm sure there's lots of other people. Apparently, I've just found one online called Pain Car Sales. Actual PAIN.
I'm not going to say this, but I feel like this does the rounds online. So there is a German BMW dealership.
Oh no. No.
Which is the worst swear word, generally accepted to be the worst swear word, the C one.
Really? Right.
Yes.
It's a BMW dealer. How appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that. Imagine you were wanting to refer to a collection of people as with the word plural, so it's pluralised, but in this case, the plural is with a Z rather than S. That's the name of this dealership.
Amazing.
You can look them up. This is not made up. I feel like every so often someone, a British person or an English speaker who's familiar with that word drives past wherever this dealership is in Germany and immediately handbrake turns to go and take a photo.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sure the dealership is probably heartily sick of it by now. It's just going, yeah, look, we know.
Oh.
But yeah, it's you find their website, you can find pictures of their frontage. It is genuinely called the Sea.
Gosh, that's amazing. I suppose it's different in Germany, isn't it?
Well, it is. They're driving past, I don't know, Arnold Clark, and it turns out that in Germany is incredibly rude for some
Arnold
reason.
means a withered penis.
Yes.
Doesn't it? That's right. Oh, how amusing. It's like, yes, it's a tiny river swim penis.
River swim.
Post-river swim. Yes.
I'll do another question here from a listener called Russ. This is not dissimilar to a question we had the other week from a chap who was worried about outing himself as a car nerd on a first date.
Oh.
So we're in the same sort of ballpark here. Russ says, I'm asking you both, and any other car obsessives listening, if they suffer from the same affliction as I do, which has been the bane of my life for as long as I can remember. I can't just see a car, be it in real life, on the television or in print, and pass it off as just a car like any normal person. No, for me, I have to be able to name in my head the exact make and model of car I see. This can be a bit of a nightmare as I'm a truck driver, so I'm constantly bombarded with cars that my automotive brain is desperately trying to name, as well as concentrating on the job in hand of driving. Do either of you have the ability to spot a classic that is not in direct line of sight, such as down a side street as you pass, or travelling on the other side of the motorway? This drives my long-suffering wife batshit, as I will constantly ask if she saw such and such a car that my spidey senses have picked up. 9 out of 10 times, this results in being told to pay attention to where we're going, or it's a car, with a huge eye roll. I'm hoping that Dr. Smith and Dr. Sniff can set my mind at ease in that I am not alone, and it's a condition all car enthusiasts suffer from.
100.
CMTMB, Russ.
100%. It's almost what my barn find obsession was born out of, and just seeing a glimpse of a car in a carport, or a bit of a CSI tarpaulin that we've done in the past,
Yes.
where you try and guess the shape of the car, or you see a little bit of light cluster or a little bit of wheel arch from under the sheet, and you go, I know what that is. That's a Passat B3 or whatever. So I totally do it. I think it's like a sport for us, isn't it?
It's yes, but it's also I completely agree, Russ. Yes, you're amongst friends here, and I'm sure lots of people listening have the same thing. The frustration or the distraction, the part of your brain that it then just inhabits like a troublesome fly in a room, when you can't quite ID what you just saw, and it's playing on your mind, and it'll sort of hang in there for probably longer than you really want. And it's ridiculous. You don't need to know. You just go, oh, sure, because I just caught a little bit of the rear wing and the bit of the back light, and I'm pretty sure it was Japanese, but I can't quite place it. It's distracting. It's using up brain energy that could be applied to, I don't know, solving famine or something. But instead, there you are, just going, was it a Nissan? It was probably a Nissan from the 90s. What were they called? The saloon version. And it's a waste of time, but still, here we are.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, yes, I could only say, yes, we're all the same.
We are all the same. Indeed. We are absolutely all the same. And I never tire of it. I think that's what's potentially troubling for me. I just don't get tired of it.
No, I know. It's a bit weird in that respect. But yes, I'd never just let it go. I mean, also, I'm guessing Russ has done this, and I hope lots of other people have as well, is that when say, like, I'd be standing in the front window of my house and a car would drive by, but I didn't quite get what it was, and it'll bother me so much that I would consider running upstairs to see if I could still see down the street from the upper window to get a glimpse, because if I don't, it'll bother me. I go, I thought it was a Mini, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't a Mini. What? Go. And I wouldn't do that if there are other people in the house, but I have done it when I'm on my own.
It's brilliant.
It feels like a confessional now.
Brilliant.
Anyway, so yeah, Russ, you're not alone.
But it's okay, because you're safe with us in this corner of the internet. We've got a question here from, I'm just checking that I'm allowed to say his name. Yes, he's a Patreon from us, called Jonathan Ezor, an American man. Hi.
One of these newfangled Americans.
Hello, you excellent gentleman, from someone who occasionally plays an actual flute in brackets and fife and piccolo. Fife. I think that's a large Scottish recorder. I think it is, but I don't want to offend any flautists. Jonathan says, as an EV owner, 2022 Mach-E GT folds, who never wants to purchase another combustion engine car, I'm toying with the idea of someday buying an inexpensive classic and paying for an electric car conversion. This would be for occasional driving and for showing at local events like parades, cars and coffee things here on Long Island in New York State. I agree that one should only do this for cars where the engine wasn't the highlight. Question: should I do this on A, something from the 1920s, like a Ford Model A, B, from the 1950s, something ordinary, like an American sedan, or C, an early 70s Beetle, CMTMB, from a Smith & Sniffen Late Break Show patron, Jonathan? Well, thanks for that, Jonathan. Thanks for supporting us. It's really kind of you. The Mach-E GT is a really good car. It's got a hell of a range, the Mach-E. I think we forget this. Seems to not get a great deal of column inches, I don't think. But I always thought it was a very, very good electric car. Or still is. It hasn't died yet. What do you reckon then, Rich, for an EV conversion on a classic which we can agree has to have had a lacklustre or forgettable engine?
I don't know what the engine was like in Ford Model A's. I I mean, they sold millions of those things, didn't they? So I assume they're still not mega rare.
Yeah,
I always think that.
Yeah, Ford had the first flathead V8, didn't it? It had the first V8, which is in the 32 Ford.
Yeah, so 20s, they're not got to the V8 yet.
No, they haven't.
So would they have had like those 4 cylinders still from the Model T or that family where they're sort of like 3 litre 4 or something, aren't they?
Yes.
So if the engine's a bit cack, maybe that's quite interesting. And also, I mean, it'll be separate chassis.
Yeah.
It's all fairly simple in the way it's put together.
Yeah.
So by extension, possibly quite simple to just put back to the way it was if you want to. So you're not destroying something.
No, very true. I think that's a good idea.
You're not going to ruin something rare. So that could be quite interesting. I don't know whether lots of torque for an electric motor might start twisting the chassis in ways that you don't want, but I guess just don't fit a very powerful electric motor. You don't need it. It's going to be cruising around.
Exactly, curb its power.
What was the second? Just a 1950s American sedan.
Yeah. Which I am warming to. I think Beetles do pretty good EV conversions, and a 70s Beetle is on the lesser desirable scale. And a Cabrio would be quite cool. The very late 70s Carmen Cabrios, like a 1303. Yeah. However, I have thought about this. I've decided that an American car from the 50s that I think would suit an EV conversion really nicely and is not like massively desirable, even though I think they're neat and quite quirky, is a Nash.
Oh.
So late 40s to early 50s, you had cars like the Nash Airflight. They're all bathtub style design with the front wheels covered and the back wheels covered. I think they nearly always had a straight six with the old column shift. But the thing is that they're quite an unusual, rare-ish car now, but they don't seem to get much attention. And the engines were never like, oh, wow, it's got that amazing engine in it. And because they're fairly aerodynamic, I do wonder whether, would you go for a Nash? You could even go for a Nash Metropolitan, which is the tiny little, well, you know the thing.
Yeah.
The tiny little, almost like a bubble micro car, but not quite. But yeah, I love Nashes. I've nearly bought several Nashes before. And I think the Nash company was an aeroplane manufacturer pre-war? I'm trying to remember.
Ooh, I don't know.
But I know that
That's a good question.
Nash kind of disappeared. It's a name you don't hear much anymore. And I would really love something like an Airflight EV. Just think it could be neat.
I think I wonder who owns the Nash name now, because they were sucked into AMC.
They were.
And, but then when AMC was bought by Chrysler, what happened? I presume it's sort of owned by them, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with your answer. I'm Nash Metropolitan. Yeah, they're. I don't know. I've never been that interested in those, but the bigger ones with that, they're so off their time, aren't they? That's
they are
a kind of futuristic for its day aero look, but probably they didn't actually have a wind tunnel. They just did it by eye. Sort of what looks right is probably right, and then turned out it was actually catastrophic lift or something. But they just look cool. Imagine one of those
gliding by,
because you're right. The engine in that, it's about the look. It's about bringing joy to other people with this amazing looking car. And if it just sort of smoothly cruised into view, because then there's something quite appropriate about giving it a futuristic powertrain. Again, I'm sure you can put it back to standard if you really wanted to as well. So, I'm going to go with that.
Like a Nash Airflight or a Nash Statesman. Go on, please do it, because then I can live through you. Then I don't have to do it myself.
Right. Well,
thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's the best. I'm just looking up if there's any Nash air flights for sale in the UK. There's one here. Oh, no, sorry, this is a Statesman. Oh, is a Statesman part of the air flight range?
Well, I don't really. They look very similar, and I don't know if it's a trim level. I don't know enough about them. I've periodically perved around Nashes, but not a great deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, apologies to American listeners who do know about them. We're a bit ignorant here. But yeah, there's one for sale here in Denmark, which looks lovely. It's £20,800 though, so
that's too much. So I'll buy one from America, please.
Yes, I bet they're cheaper there. 3-speed manual though. So again, well, that's probably just not very great to use, is it?
No, I just think, I don't know, I just think they're really cool. I'd love to see one just effortlessly go past.
Yes. No, I think that's fair enough. I'm going to move on to a question from a listener called George, who says, "Hello, you absolute pair of wood flutes. Having a bit of a dilemma that I thought you or your listeners might want to muse over.
Yeah.
I recently had a 2-car garage of a BMW E92 2-litre sensible day-to-day car and an E85 Z4 3-litre SI for the weekend. I wasn't doing many miles, so got rid of the trusty E92. Now only have the Z4. It's a proper manual with a silky 6 under the bonnet.
Nice.
Red leather and silver paint. Great for work of the country lane variety and equally good with a bit of motorway and track work. It's only worth about $5,000, but always puts a smile on my face." My question is...
That's the crucial thing.
Isn't it? He goes on to say, "My question is, I have about £40,000 to £50,000 in my budget and could afford something newer / faster / more exotic. But would I really enjoy another convertible much more at a price that is 10 times that of the Z4? It could be argued that the 2000s were peak car / peak BMW. Would I be happy with something more, or do we petrolheads know that less is often more? E.g., I don't have to worry if the local no-name suspension mountain bike guy accidentally falls into it on his way home from the co-op with a bag of cans."
This is a very interesting point. I think it probably is peak BMW. And we've talked about the level of complexity of cars from that era onwards. So I'm wondering whether or not, if he did desperately want to spend this money on a car rather than just keep it and enjoy the car he's got and put some money into it, he could commission, or he could buy a resto mod of some kind, which would be an oldish car with tweaks, couldn't he? That could be good.
Yeah.
I mean, my brain is going, if he likes a Z4, would he go for a Z3 clown shoe with some mods? It would be good.
Yes. I suppose the thing that's... because I was going to say, well, if you stick with what you know, but we also know that as car people, we sort of get itchy feet, don't we, and start thinking, is there something better out there?
Yeah.
And he's obviously got a healthy budget there. It's tediously predictable.
Yeah.
But if he likes a convertible and he likes driving, he likes something that's going to do, could handle a bit of track work, but also be good at pretty much everything, with that money, I would be really tempted to get a very nice Boxster 6-cylinder of some sort. Well,
now we're talking.
But then, of course, that introduces the worry of, someone could scuff it or scratch it, and it's going to break your heart more than it would if it happened to your $5,000 Z4.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I'm assuming that he doesn't want to get another car on top of the Z4 so that he's back to a 2-car situation, because it sounds like he's slimmed down for a reason. So this is a single car thing.
Could he go for it? I mean, you could do a bloody amazing Boxster for that kind of money.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you really... Well, that's the thing. You can just trouser the rest of the money.
Yeah, I kind of would, because I feel like there's nothing worse than overspending and being underwhelmed, and I feel like he might be in danger of that. So, yeah. Yeah.
That's... And yes, if you go sort of something, because obviously there's lots of new cars you could have within his budget, but that's the thing, you might find, in fact, that they have things that annoy you or are overcomplicated, and you'll wish for your Z4 back if you're used to that sort of. It's from that era when there's enough technology to feel modern, so your phone will hook in through Bluetooth and possibly stream music, but
exactly,
you're not then getting the full massive screen that you could watch an Avengers film on, but you don't want to.
But you don't want to. You just want to drive the bloody car.
Well, that is an interesting one that I feel like we haven't quite answered because. Well, except.
Yeah, for that kind of money, you could get yourself a what was I'm trying to think, like a Cayman GT4, the first ones.
Oh, yes.
They'd be too. Would they be a bit modern for him? Is that what we're suggesting? But they were really
were
good.
Not. Yeah, and they weren't overwhelmingly techie because they were sort of. I mean, the Cayman box is about to leave us precisely because the tech can't meet new requirements. So it's they are actually sort of quite old for a new car.
They are.
I don't think that'd be a problem. But I wonder. Actually, that's a good question. How much is
of an early GT4? Yeah,
because oh my gosh, that's a exciting car.
Have I struck gold? What money are we
I suppose, unless it turns out that
gold,
the convertible roof is the deal breaker, and then to get the equivalent Boxster, it's a Spider, and that's got a roof that's a pain in the arse, particularly if it's your only car.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, spinning the dice here. Here we go. 981 GT4. The cheapest I can see online at the moment here with a very cursory search is just out of budget, 52 grand.
Oh, haggleable.
Although they're quite hardcore, aren't they? Do you want that, or do you just want a Cayman GTS or a 911 GTS of some sort? Well, maybe not for the budget. I'm sure there's other stuff. People are probably shouting about this one because there's probably, you could probably have a delightful time with.
You could spend some money on your existing Z4.
That's a thought.
You could gift it some Olin suspension or something really fancy, and only you would know it was there unless you wanted to talk about it. And give it some incredible
space to talk about.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Buy some really nice forged lightweight wheels and some trick suspension, and just things which are all about focusing in on the driving satisfaction, and just go, what the hell? I just spent 15, 20 grand on some components of this car, which I can unbolt if I want to. Brilliant.
I mean, budget is massive, and then you could just go and buy a canal boat.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a letter here from a guy called Fabian Waren, or Varen. This is interesting. This is booze related. Hence the greeting. Hi, Malbec mechanists. Your recent question about what car to have on a vineyard recently reminded me of some cooking wine I bought, labelled Prelude. Believe. I assume if you consume too much of this, you begin talking in Prelude guy voice. Believe you. There are links to this wine and some pictures, but I can't actually see all the details on the wine. I need to zoom in on the Prelude wine. So I thought, surely the Malbec mechanic needs to be consuming car-based wines, and therefore, what other car-based wines exist? A quick squiz in Vivino showed that in South Africa, there's in fact a Jimny wine.
A Jimny?
There's a Jimny wine. It actually has a sketch of a Jimny, a Suzuki, on the label.
Huh.
This is great. Maybe an homage to his vineyard wheels.
I wonder why. Yeah.
So perhaps our Spanish friend, who was in a previous Otosot question, has missed a trick. Maybe he should introduce the Peugeot Partner Vintage 2025 or the Chateau Golf for the baggy Golf. You can buy Peugeot wine. I think listeners will already know this. You can actually buy real Peugeot wine, which is great. So the question is, what would you name your car-based wine for the Malbec mechanic? Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate. Bye. Fabian. The Malbec mechanic wine. Gosh, I don't know. I'd like to call it the Focus, only because, well, obviously...
What, to remind you to concentrate on trying to fix your car?
That's right.
Whilst a bit sourced.
Yeah, don't get too happy with the free pouring. Actually realise what you've started to embark on. Yes, you need to do a CV boot on the Eagle Quest. So just do that, please. Don't just get sidetracked and just start just downing wine
now
and chatting.
Malbec often comes to us from Argentina.
Yes, that's right.
I would say.
Yeah.
When I think of Argentinian cars, I always think of the Hillman Avenger rebadged as a Volkswagen for confusing reasons.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And they did the Dodge 1500 or something, didn't they?
Yes. It's really odd, sort of. At least the Dodge bit, you go, well, because it's part of the same company, but the deal to sell it as a VW there was
a bit
really
odd.
Strange to me.
Yeah.
But I think I would, just for Argentinian shits and giggles, in the same way that, because the chimney wine, if I saw that in a supermarket, I would go and have a look.
Yeah.
And maybe buy some, just because you go, I like this. I like the idea of this. So the Volkswagen 1500 wine, because I would do a double take in the supermarket and then go over and go, oh, but if memory serves, that's from Argentina, just like this wine. I'm going to buy it. It could be absolute brake fluid, but if it had quite an interesting label.
You got me thinking about the this Peugeot wine. I've been staring at it. Claude Val Peugeot wine, Pays d'Arc. I'm thinking to myself, is Dacia not missing a trick? If you were buying cooking wine, in other words, it could be quite a low grade of table wine.
Yeah.
Could you just go for a Dacia white label? Real simple.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
I think
cheap
people
and it's
have
honest.
tried that.
Yeah.
There was, I can't remember who did this, but I'm sure there was wine that just said white and red in big letters on a white label.
Oh, really?
That was around for a while. Yeah, and it was almost like they were just sort of trying to stand out and make a point against sort of the slightly more flowery, pretentious labels around. And or maybe it had a descriptor. It might have said fruity red or something, or dry white, but that's it.
I think that could be really good.
Yes.
I think that could be.
Yeah, you're right. Dacia wine. Yeah. Just really, like, it's decent enough, but it's basic and it's affordable.
But maybe look, guys, we're not as famous or wealthy as Richard Hammond, James May, or even the other guy, Jeremy, and they've all started to do endorsed booze, whether they either own the vineyard or they own the beer factory, brewery. So maybe we could do the actual Malbec Mechanic, or we could do a wine called On That Side of Things, On That Wine of Things. Why don't we? Why don't we?
On that, yes. Why
I wonder
not?
if anybody listening to this who's actually got access to a
with this, we will. You know, our listeners, there is almost nothing we say that we don't have at least one listener who goes, "Oh, I work in that industry," or "I know a bit about that," or "I know so." It's just
very well connected.
Pandora's delicious boozy box.
Yeah,
I think I would. You could do the red, your Malbec. I will do a crisp white called "Cheers, mate, thanks, mate, dry," and that'll do me fine.
We need to do that, and we can sell them as a pair, a matching pair.
Yes,
that would be great. On
Good.
That Wine of
All
Things,
right,
for a full-bodied red, for body repairs, obviously, a full body repair.
Yes,
red.
full body restoration.
It would be great.
Okay, well, on that intriguing thought,
you can match it with your orbital sanding and that one, and yeah, I think that'd be great. So, cheers for that. That's a really good question for him.
Well, there's enough from us for now, but thank you for all the questions. If you've got something you'd like to ask us, hello@smithandsniff.com. We'll do another question answering session next Friday. Normal show on Monday. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.